Okay, we're about to dive into a theory that could totally flip our understanding of black holes. What if we've had them wrong this whole time? What if they're not the universe's ultimate destroyers, but its master creators?
I mean, it's a pretty wild thought, right? Everything we've ever learned paints a black hole as this point of no return, a one-way ticket to oblivion. But what if that's only half the story? This new model we're looking at suggests that maybe, just maybe, the singularity isn't an end at all. Maybe it's a beginning.
So here's a fundamental shift in thinking. On one hand, you've got the classic picture, right? The black hole as a cosmic vacuum cleaner. Anything that gets too close gets sucked in and crushed out of existence. End of story. But on the other hand, we have this new theory from a paper by Dr. Mario Arturo Ruiz Estrada. It proposes that black holes are more like cosmic recycling hubs, these incredible engines that take in old matter and energy and then churn out the raw materials for brand new creation.
To really get our heads around this idea, we have to start by completely reframing what a black hole even is. You got to forget that simple image of a cosmic drain pipe. This theory is proposing something way more active, way more complex. And just listen to the language here. This is a direct quote from the paper's abstract. It doesn't just say black holes are different. It says they are the very systems that sustain the universe's continuous growth. The key words are just jumping off the page: dynamic, multidimensional, and regeneration. This isn't a passive object anymore. It's an active universe-building machine. So what's this new framework actually called? It's the quantum surface model. And yeah, it all hinges on a pretty fascinating, brand new concept that supposedly exists right there at the very heart of a black hole. And this, right here, is the core of the whole idea: the quantum surface. Now, try not to imagine it as a physical place, but more like a transitional zone. It's this theoretical membrane where the crushing force of gravity finally hits a wall and gets transformed, flipped into this explosive outward force of quantum rebirth. It's literally the proposed line between destruction and creation. Now, to describe an idea this revolutionary, you can't use the old math. So the paper introduces what's called the Ruiz-Estrada dynamic coordinate system. All you really need to know is that it adds a couple of new variables to our standard map of reality: E for energy and Q for something called quantum flux. Just think of that as the flow of quantum energy. By adding these new dimensions, the model can describe a universe that isn't just a static stage, but a constantly shifting energetic field.
Okay, so how does this whole thing actually work? Well, it's built on three foundational pillars. Three really radical ideas that all work together to totally redefine what a black hole does. So it breaks down like this. First, you have gravity inversion. That's the mechanism that literally flips gravity on its head. Second, cosmic recycling, which is the purpose of that mechanism. And third, galactic hyperactivity, which is how this all scales up to affect, well, everything. So let's start with the engine of it all: gravity inversion. This is the engine of the entire theory, the gravity absorption inverse process, or GAIPBH. So here's the crucial part. Instead of gravity just pulling inward forever and ever, the quantum surface acts like a transformer. It takes all that immense gravitational energy, flips it, and turns it into an outward-pushing kinetic force. It literally turns a pull into a push. So how does this one mechanism build into something so much bigger? Well, when you start putting these ideas together, you don't just get a new kind of black hole. You get an entirely new engine for driving the entire cosmos. And this lays out the full cycle just perfectly. Step 1, absorption. That's the black hole we all know and love. It pulls everything in. But then step 2, inversion, kicks in. That inward pull gets transformed into an outward kinetic flow. And that leads directly to step 3, regeneration, the release of new energy and what's called protomatter back out into the universe, ready to form new stars, new planets, new galaxies.
So what does this mean for one of the biggest questions out there? What's driving the expansion of the universe? The standard view, our old model, says it's basically just the leftover energy from a single event, the Big Bang. But this new theory? It suggests that expansion is an ongoing, continuous process, actively being powered right now by billions of these black hole recycling plants all across the cosmos.
And this, folks, brings us to the really mind-bending part. If this theory has any merit at all, the implications would ripple through all of modern physics. It would change the answers to some of the deepest questions we've ever asked.
I mean, for starters, could that mysterious dark energy that's accelerating the expansion of the universe just be the combined outward push from all these hyperactive black holes? Could the quantum surface itself be the place where Einstein's gravity and the bizarre rules of quantum mechanics finally shake hands? And hey, could this solve the famous information paradox by saying information isn't destroyed, it's just rebooted? Ultimately, it all points to a universe that isn't finite but eternal and self-renewing.
And that leaves us with this final, really provocative thought. What if the Big Bang wasn't a unique, one-time creation event? What if, in a universe powered by black hole recycling, it was just one massive pulse, in an infinite cosmic heartbeat, a cycle of death and rebirth that's been happening forever and will continue forever, with black holes serving as the eternal engines of renewal?